Hi everyone, I'm Angela from Reindeer Therapies and I'd like to invite you to share in a little bit of yoga. This will take about half an hour or so and it's a sequence designed to help with us balancing the root chakra. If you're familiar with chakras or even if you're not, they are energy centres which lie up and down the spine. They start at the base of your spine and they go all the way up to the top of the head. Excuse me. And the the root is quite important at the moment because that is where we get our stability, our groundedness, and our sense of belonging and safety and being in a tribe, which is a little bit difficult at the minute with everything that's going on. So if you have a little bit of time to spare and you'd like to work on chilling out and getting grounded and placing your roots nice and strongly, then we can begin. So first of all, let's find ourselves in a nice, easy, cross-legged position. If your knees are up here, just go and grab a cushion or something so that you can be elevated a little bit, just so that your hips are higher than your knees. And all we're going to do now is breathe. So we can close our eyes. We're just going to start with 3 deep breaths in and out through the nose. Not wanting anything to happen, not making anything happen, just allowing the breath to happen. And now we can put one hand on the top of the chest and maybe the other hand on the lower belly. And just continue to breathe fully and deeply. And again, not making or wanting anything to happen, just allowing the breath to be. And we can follow the breath as it comes in through the nose as we breathe in and as it goes all the way down to the base of the spine. And then as it comes all the way back up as we breathe out. So our root chakra is based in the perineum, which is basically between whatever we have at the front and what we all have at the back. And it should be a deep red, vibrant colour. So let's see if we can see that lovely red colour as we breathe. And let's just take 2 more deep breaths in and out through the nose. And after your second breath, we can place our hands on our knees and we can open our eyes again. So now let's breathe in. And as we do, we raise up the arms as we root down, palms together, and then we breathe out. We bring the hands down to the heart. And let's breathe in, bring the arms out to the side and breathe out, the hands come down. Let's do that again. Breathe in, rooting and rising. And breathe out, hands to heart. Let's breathe in, arms out to the side and down. Breathe in, root through the tailbone, reach up with the hands. Breathe out, hands to heart. Let's breathe in as the arms come out and breathe out as they come down. We'll do 1 more of those. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's breathe in as the arms open out and out as the hands come down. This time, let's breathe in, let's lift up the left arm, and as we breathe out, we reach over to the right. And let's breathe in as the right arm comes up and breathe out as we reach towards the left. And each time we breathe in and we reach, we root the opposite buttock to the floor. So we're reaching over to the left and we root down on the right side. Reach to the right, root to the left. And let's just get a nice flow going. Rooting and reaching. Let's just do 1 more on each side. This time, let's bring both arms up as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, let's bring the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind the hips. And we can breathe in to let the spine lengthen and breathe out to twist. We're aiming to keep the shoulders in line with the hips. We're just gently allowing the spine to twist. The neck is comfortable. We just hold here. So let's bring the head back to the front. Let's bring the right arm over to the left knee. We take a nice breath in. And as we breathe out, we reach forwards. Any twinges in the knee or in the hips, we just come out of the pose a little bit. Because we're taking it easy. We are respecting our bodies as we breathe in. Raise the arms and breathe out, twisting round to the left. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind. We're breathing in to lengthen and breathing out to twist. All the time respecting our bodies, respecting our limitations, even respecting how we're feeling today. Maybe we can do more than usual, maybe we can do less. So let's bring the head back to the front. Bring the left arm over to the right knee. We breathe in. And as we breathe out, we come forwards again. And again, any twinges, come out of the pose a little. 2 breaths. And 3. Good. So let's come up again as we breathe in, and let's bring the arms behind the hips. And let's just lift the chin up to the sky. So we're not crunching the back of the neck, we're just letting the chest raise up to the sky. Good. And now let's come into tabletop. So tabletop with a quick tucking in adjustment. There we go. Is hips over knees and shoulders over wrists. And we can get a nice crease in the wrist to make sure that we are keeping our wrists safe. So to begin with, let's just lengthen out the spine from the tailbone right through to the top of the head, just looking down at the mat. And now as we breathe in, we can lower the belly and raise the head. And then as we breathe out, we really arch the back, pushing the hands into the mat. Let's breathe in, lower the belly, raise the head. And breathe out as we're arching the back. So as we're working with the root chakra, let's see if we can make each movement begin from the tailbone. We breathe out as we arch. Breathe in, lower the belly, raise the head. And then from the tailbone, arch the back. Let's do a couple more of those in our own time. Making the movement last as long as the breath. And let's make this the last one. And come back into tabletop. So let's bring the big toes together and we're going to come into child's pose. So we're going to bring the hips back to the heels. So options for child's pose. We can reach out the arms, keeping the elbows off the floor and just bring the head towards the floor. Or as we are working with the root chakra and we may need a bit of comfort, security and stability, we can put our fists underneath our chin and just snuggle the elbows in between the knees and just curl up. We'll take 5 breaths here. Breathing deep into the lower back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we're going to come into downward dog. So if you wish, you can actually stay on your knees and just reach out the arms, keeping your back and your arms straight and your head towards the floor. If you prefer, you feel more comfortable with it, we can tuck our toes under and then start to push the hips upwards. So all we need to do is keep our arms and our back straight, and we can have the legs bent or straight. We don't lock out the knees, we keep the knees slightly bent. And as this is our first downward dog, we can just walk it out, just pad the feet. And we can rise up and down on the toes. You can get a little bit of shoulders going in there. And downward dog's great because you have both your hands and your feet rooting into the floor. Okay, so let's just hold here. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as you need in this pose. Hips are up and back, like you're making a slide with your arms on your back. Okay, so let's breathe in and look upwards. And let's step the left foot forwards, bringing the right knee down to the ground. Let's bring the hands to the left knee. So we're going to bring our hips slightly up towards our ribs, pushing into the inside of the front foot, keeping the front knee over the ankle. We can lift up the hands. We can even keep them on the hips if that's better for you. Lift them up to shoulder height. If you wish, you can take them all the way up. Palms together if you want, thumbs next to each other. Into crescent moon for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Let's breathe out as the hands come forwards. We're going to step back into downward dog and then step forwards. Bring our feet hip width apart. To find that, put your fists together and then pop them between your heels. That is hip width. So let's grab the opposite elbow with each hand, bend the knees and just let your head and your arms dangle. Have a little waggle from side to side if you wish, and just let the weight of your head bring your spine towards the floor. Pushing into the inside of each foot, the outside of each foot, and the center of the heel. Okay, let's take a breath in. Bring the hands to the thighs, keeping the knees bent, and let's see if we can straighten out our spine. So we've just done our cat-cow, so we want to avoid bending the back too much or arching too much. See if we can get that straight. And now keeping the knees bent, let's reach the arms out in front. Bend the knees as we breathe in and we come up. So I'd like you to stay facing the left side. I'm going to turn to the front so that you can see. We're going to come into Tadasana, which is mountain pose. This is the basis of all of the standing poses in yoga. Plant the feet, really press into the inside and the outside of the foot. The hips come up to the ribs, the chest comes in. Let's get a lot of space between each thumb and each little finger. Let's push the feet into the ground. So we're rooting with the feet while we're rising all the way through the top of the head to the sky. A beautiful rooting pose. Okay, and now that we've balanced on 2 feet, let's see if we can balance on 1. So let's transfer our weight to our right leg. We can lift our left foot off the floor. This is our tree pose. We can also have the foot on top of the right foot, the side of the shin. We don't put any pressure on the knee. Or we can bring the foot into the thigh. And let's see if we can get our balance here. Rooting down with one leg. 1, 2, and 3. Good. So let's bring that foot down to the floor. I'm going to turn to the left again. So keeping the feet hip width, let's step the right foot back. So our feet are train track parallel to each other. The back heel is off the floor at the moment. So let's put that down. Let's bring the hips to the front. And you may need to bring the foot around so that you can get both hips pointing forwards. Front knee over the ankle, again as we did with crescent moon. We can bring the hands to the hips, to shoulder height, or up all the way in the air, pointing upwards into warrior one for 3 breaths. For 1, pushing into the outside of the back foot. And 3. Let's breathe in and turn towards the right. And then let's move out the back foot so that the little toe is level with the back of the mat. Let's check our front knee to have the knee still over the ankle. And let's open out the arms to shoulder height. And then we look along the left hand. Warrior 2 for 1, 2, and 3. So let's bring the right hand down to the right thigh, flip the front palm. Let's breathe in, and as we breathe out, we reach towards the back foot. And if it's comfortable, we can look up towards the top hand. Again, let's keep in mind what our front knee is doing. It's over the front ankle. And we're pushing into the outside of the back foot. Good. Let's come back to our warrior 2. Let's turn our feet to face the front. So this is a really wide stance. So we're pushing down with both feet. We're pushing down with the tailbone as well. Imagine that's really rooting into the earth. We're reaching the arms out to the side. We're bringing the chest in. The chin is level with the floor. And it's as if we have a beautiful line that's linking us from the tailbone to the earth, all the way up the spine into the sky. Our 5-pointed star pose. Okay, so let's turn the heels in. And again, let's make sure that our knees are over our ankles. You may need to shuffle about so that your knees are over your ankles and your knees are also pointing in the same direction as your toes for goddess pose. So again, hips come up towards the ribs, chest comes in. Let's open up the arms, bend them up at the elbows. Beautiful earthing goddess pose. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. These beautiful energies work for everyone. For 2 and 3. Lovely. So let's straighten the legs. Lower the arms. Let's bring the feet in so the toes are pointing forwards and ever so slightly inwards. Let's get the hands on the hips as we breathe in. And then we bend the knees as much as we need and we come forwards. And we bring the fingertips or the hands towards the floor. So again, we're rooting down with feet and hands. Pushing up through the feet, into the lower legs, into the upper legs. Now let's take the right hand over to the left foot. See if you can keep your hips in the middle. So the left hand can go to the left hip, or if you're comfortable, it can go up in the air, keeping some weight in the toes. And now let's bring the hands back down as we walk the left hand to the right foot. Again, the right hand can go to the hip or up in the air. For 2 and 3. So let's bring the hands back down. Let's ground back down to the floor. And then let's bring the head up. We're going to turn towards the right. So let's turn the right toes towards the right. And we can line up heel with heel or heel with instep, whichever works better for you, as we come into triangle pose. So let's bring the right hand to just in front of the right ankle. Bring the palms together, push the feet into the floor. And then let's lift up the hand. If you prefer, you can have your hand on the hip, the elbow pointing upwards. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's bring the hands back down to the floor. Frame the front foot, turn the back toes to face the front. And now we're going to come down into our crescent moon. So we're going to do the same on the other side now. So let's bring the hands to the right knee this time. hips up to the ribs. And let's reach up to whichever point is comfortable. And we reach back into our crescent moon, pushing the inside of the front foot into the floor. Good, hands down. Let's step back. And then we can walk the feet forwards and bring the hands to meet them. Again, let's go hip width. And let's dangle. Bringing the belly to the legs, bending the knees as much as we need. Let's bring the hands to the thighs, keeping the knees bent. Let's see if we can straighten out the spine. I'm cheating because I have a video so I can see. And now let's swing the arms up, keep the knees bent as we come all the way up into Tadasana. So I'm going to turn to the front again so I can demonstrate. And again, let's push, excuse me, let's push the feet into the floor. So we're rooting to rise. Lovely. So this time we're going to transfer the weight to the left leg. And we're going to lift our right foot off the floor. And maybe that goes to the left foot, the left shin, or all the way up into the left thigh. So pushing the thigh and the foot against each other. And we can, if we wish, bring our hands into prayer position. We're not locking out the knee, we have a slight bend in the knee. If you want to really challenge yourself, close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes if you close them. I'm going to turn back to the right again. So this time, we're going to step the left foot back and then turn the heel in. Let's line up the hips facing the front. Bring them up towards the ribs. Let's keep the knee over the ankle. And again, we reach the arms up as far as is comfortable. Into our warrior one for 3 breaths. Pushing into the feet. Really grounding and rooting as we rise up. Let's take a breath in and turn towards the left. Open out the left foot so it's in line with the back of the mat. And then keeping the front knee over the ankle. Let's line up the arms. So we're looking over the right hand this time for 2 and 3. So let's bring the left hand to the left thigh, flip the front palm. Let's reach up and reach back over. What's your front knee doing? Check that. For 2 and 3. So let's come back into our warrior 2. Straighten the front knee. Bring the feet to face the front. So the toes are pointing forwards. We're back in our 5-pointed star. So the hips are up towards the ribs. The chest is in. The fingertips are reaching out. We have that line between the earth and the sky going all the way from the spine up into the sky, down into the earth. Good. So let's turn the heels in. Let's sort out our knees over the ankles, pointing in the same direction as the feet. Hips are up to the ribs, the chest is in. Bend the elbows at shoulder height. Push the feet into the floor. This beautiful earthing goddess pose. See if you can go a little bit lower without hurting anything. Lovely. So this time we come up. We're going to go that way. We're going to go to the left. So let's turn the back foot, the right foot. So it's turned in slightly. Let's line up the heels. And let's come down. And let's lift up. We did that a different way this time, didn't we? For 2 and 3. I realised what we didn't do. Let's just go back a bit. Back to the centre. Grounding nicely. Bringing the feet to point forwards with the hands under the shoulders. So let's walk across to the right foot. Lift the right arm. It can be on the hip or up in the air. And let's walk across to the other side. For 2 and 3. Let's bring that down. Let's root it again. And now let's turn the left foot to face the left. And this is where we're going to do our triangle. So let's breathe in, bring that all the way up. For 2 and 1. This time, we're going to come back to the center. Walk our feet in by heel, toe, and then let's see if we can sit down in a squat. This isn't comfortable, just sit straight down. So, next thing we're going to do is, I'll face this way. Dandasana or staff pose. So let's have the hands by the hips and let's push down through the tailbone as we rise up through the top of the head, lengthening the spine. And then as we breathe out, let's reach forwards. Let's breathe in as we come up and breathe out as we reach forwards. Breathe in as we come up, breathe out. Breathe in to come up, breathe out to come forwards. Breathe in to come up, and this time as we come forwards again, let's just walk the hands towards the feet. Bend your knees as much as you need. It's absolutely fine. If you're comfortable holding onto your toes or the sides of your feet, do whatever is right for you. For 3, 2, and 1. So let's breathe in and we come back up. Let's bend up the right knee and nice and gently bring the knee down towards the floor. This is called Janu Shirshasana. So again, let's breathe in, lengthen the spine, and as we breathe out, let's just come forwards as far as is comfortable. If your foot or your knee is not happy, bring it further down the leg, or even bring the leg out to the side, whichever is more comfortable for you. Okay, so let's breathe in as we come up. Now, a bit complicated. Let's take the right leg, cross it over the left leg, bend the left leg so the left knee is pointing forwards. Going to have the right hand behind. Take the left arm, elbow around the right knee. Lengthen the spine as we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we twist around to the right. Are you still with me? Hope so. Okay, let's do a cheeky counter twist. So let's bring the right arm around. Let's bring the elbow to the inside of the right knee and just twist the other way. Okay, so now let's untangle. Give the legs a waggle, and then I'm going to face the other way. So let's bend up the left knee. Let's lower that down to the ground. Let's breathe in as we come up and out as we go forwards. So we're moving from the hips. We never bend forwards from the shoulders because we'll never reach our goal if we do that. Just respecting what your hips can do. Good, now let's bring that up. Okay, this time we bend the right leg. We have the right knee pointing forwards. The left leg goes to the outside of the right knee. Right arm around the left knee. Left arm goes behind. So we try and keep our hips in line with our shoulders as we breathe in. And then we breathe out and we twist as far as is comfortable for us today. Lovely. So we're going to do another little cheeky counter twist. So the left elbow comes to the left knee, and then we twist around to the other side. And then let's come back to the center. So now let's release the legs. And we can put both feet together. And this is called Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. So we have the soles of the feet together. We can have the hands on the ankles, or if you are quite comfortable in this pose, you can open up the feet like a little book. So we're going to breathe in. And as you breathe out, let's reach forward from the hips. 1, we'll do 3, 2, and 3. Let's breathe in as we come up. This time we can round the spine, bringing the head towards the feet, and again for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. Lovely. And let's come up. We're going to lie down. We haven't finished yet though. So we're going to lift up the right leg, bend the knee into the chest. So options, you can either keep the right knee bent or straighten it as much as is comfortable. Up to you. You can hold on to the big toe if that is working for you. We can have the left hand on the left thigh just to keep the leg down, and we've got the left toes pointing upwards. And we hold for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, and 3. So if your knee is bent, we can hold on to the side of the knee and just gently bring the knee out to the side. And if you have got your legs straight, again, we can just bring the leg out to the side. And if it's comfortable, we can turn the head to look the other way. For 1, 2, and 3. So let's bring the knee or the leg back to the center. We can bend the knee and let the foot just rest again on the floor, straightening out the leg. So again, we can bend the left knee, bring that into the chest, or we can straighten the leg up into the air, whichever's more comfortable. And let's just hold for 3 breaths. For 1, 2, 3. And now we can open the leg out to the side, either the leg straight or with the knee bent. For 1, 2, and 3. So let's bring the knee back to the center. If your leg has been straight up in the air, let's bend the knee, foot on the floor, and come back down. So the last pose I'd like to do today, we just bend the knees, have the feet on the floor, feet together. Let's scoot the bum over to the left, bring the knees down to the floor. You can put the right hand on the left knee if you like, and we simply look over the left shoulder. And let's just enjoy this twist. It's more about getting the shoulders to the floor than getting the knees to the floor. Let's enjoy this twist with our spine. As we breathe in, let's bring the knees back to the center. Bring the hips back into the center and then scoot the hips over to the right. And then we can have the left hand on the right knee, and we can have the head looking over the right shoulder, if that's comfortable. If not, we can just look straight up. For 3, 2, and 1. Great. So let's bring the hips back into the center, and you'll be glad to know we've finished. But we're going to do a bit of relaxation first of all, if my voice lasts that long. So let's bring the feet to the floor. Let's have the mat width apart. The hands are down by the side of the legs, a little way out from the legs. And we just let the feet fall outwards. This is Shavasana. This is the relaxation pose. So I'm going to sit up, but you please stay relaxed in your Shavasana. So let's start from the feet. We breathe in. And as we breathe out any tension in the feet. And let's breathe in again to the shins and the calves. And breathe out any tension there. Let's breathe in to the knees. And breathe out to relax. Breathe in to the thighs and the quads. And breathe out. Breathe into the hips and breathe out. Let's breathe in to the whole of the front of the torso, from the throat all the way down to the lower abdomen. And breathe out. Let's breathe in from the back of the neck all the way down to the base of the spine. And breathe out. Let's breathe into the shoulders. And breathe out. Breathe into the arms, from the tops of the arms to the tips of the fingers. And breathe out. Let's breathe in to the whole of the face and the head. And breathe out. Let's breathe in to the whole of the body, all the way down to the tips of the toes. And breathe out from the tips of the toes to the top of the head. Just breathing. Just allowing the relaxation to happen. Simply noticing the breath. And noticing any tension. If there is any tension, breathe into that area. And as you breathe out, just let all of that tension go. Allowing the body to melt into the mat. Letting any tension go. Feeling how rooted you are. So now let's start to become aware of sounds inside and outside the room. Become aware of where your body touches the mat. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Let's bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. And let's roll over to the right side. Then nice and easily pushing down with the left hand, let's bring ourselves up into seated. Let's just take a moment to settle ourselves again. So let's breathe in as the arms come up and breathe out. Let's breathe in, drawing in beautiful earth energy, And breathe out, bringing that energy back down. Let's breathe in as we root and reach. And breathe out, bringing the hands to the heart. Thank you very much for practicing this root chakra grounding yoga practice with me today. I thank all of my teachers, past, present and future, and I hope that this practice has helped you. I hope to see you again. Namaste.